we have Agents of I.N.U, Agents of I.N.U, a very interesting acronym, the Defenders of DeFi. So guys, you could do a quick introduction, introduce yourselves to the community and to the audience. Tell us a little bit about yourself and, how you guys, came up with the project.
Sure. So my name's Imi, and developer here is Abe, and we have another developer that's not with us. He likes to remain anonymous for now. But so there's three of us. We came up with this idea of opening the Agents of I.N.U. The Agents of I.N.U is essentially a network of agents which is dedicated to protecting the whole DeFi space. Our mission is to give back the power to the people and, enable them to make informed choices in trading. So what we have here is Agent Shiba. Agent Shiba is the first of the defenders, and it's our utility. It's our utility to token. Sorry, it's our utility for the BSC space. Our developer here, Abe, came up with the idea because he was continually scammed. And as you know, like the space consists of about 90 to 95% of scams, Ponzi's, and all these other things. So he came up with this brilliant idea of making an app where helps you identify potential scams and honeypots. And Wahab, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Essentially it started probably back in June, July, which was when I was introduced to the DeFi space, right? So it was my first sort of foray into DeFi. So just for some clarity, I come from a software engineering background, about a senior software developer for the last 10 years or so. So as I started trading, I noticed that you'd buy a token and then 10 minutes later you're not able to sell. You buy a token and you're never able to sell, right? And a whole bunch of different scams. Someone would mint a huge amount of tokens and your value would go down to zero. So essentially, as a developer, I realized it's just code. I went into the code, I read the code, and the scams were pretty obvious to me. I pick up on them pretty quickly. So how do I create a tool that's going to help me trade better? And that's what it started as. This was about the time that Monarch came out, and I saw Monarch, and I liked the concept, but it was a bit too limited for what I wanted to do. So I started working on my own proof of concept, adding a lot more features to it. Things like auto-detecting certain issues in the contract that I could find. Initially, I was doing quite a few features there that so things like being able to sort by time, being able to sort by volume traded, seeing the number of trades in a particular token were all things that I thought would really help identify whether a token is legit or not. So I started building it out. I've been building it out for probably 2 months or so before Imi came along and said, "Hey Abdul, hey Abe, I see what you're doing, is really cool. I think there's a broader opportunity, so other people might be interested in what you're doing." Initially, I was quite hesitant because I wasn't that keen on creating my own token for a number of issues. But over time, Imi's convinced me. We decided to create the Agent of I.N.U, and here we are today.
Oh wow! So you basically learned Solidity from scratch from the beginning, then, right? Just learning on the ins and outs of it, so to say.
Yeah, well, as I'm a developer, so I'm picking up a new language is relatively straightforward once you've been doing it for so long. So Solidity was pretty easy for me. But essentially, so I had to learn I guess I had to learn the intricacies of contracts, smart contracts, and they do operate quite a bit differently to your normal software. But and I found that one thing that I did find is it's actually quite hard to find good information about how smart contracts operate once you go quite deep into it. I did have to learn a lot of it on my own, figure out quite a few things, and I think we're doing things that probably I haven't seen any other tools do. So I'm quite excited about where we are today and also the future of our product.
Okay, so is this sort of a how do you call it, in conjunction with other tools that the investors already have out there, such as honeypot scanner, SafeRug detector, things of that nature? Is this sort of in addition to that, or are you trying to replace those type of outside tools?
Well, I think it's probably best to say we're trying to streamline the process. So right now, the workflow is quite clunky. You see a token you like in a new token scanner, you then copy the contract address, take it to a honeypot detector, paste the address in, go to a rug scanner, paste the address in. try and find Telegram, do a whole bunch, and then maybe go on PooCoin or Block Tools, try and see the trading activity, and then trying to come to a decision, right? So what we're actually trying to do is how do we incorporate that all into the one tool? So make it as quickly and easy as possible for you to see a token. We'll sort of make that information available to you, and you decide, do I want to invest in this or not? And that's for new tokens. We're also doing things in the sort of mature token space, but yeah, we can get into that. But for new tokens, we're trying to streamline that process as much as possible and make it as easy as possible for someone to make that decision.
Okay, so this is more focusing on projects and tokens that have launched right in the beginning, yeah, or if they even released say the contract address prior to launch.
Yeah, that's well, no, I mean that's one aspect. So the beauty of our tool is there are a lot of tools that do focus on that, but we've got really advanced filtering too, which is a feature that not a lot of users really get their hang of easily, but once they do, we find that filtering becomes their go-to. And so one example of things I do is look at, like, I don't like trading in new tokens because it's just, there's not that much.
It's risky, yeah. It's risky, yeah.
Yeah, so what I usually do is I'll set the filter to say only show me tokens that are at least a week old, and then I'll start filtering it. Show me tokens that are a week old with liquidity greater than 100 BNB, but less than 300 BNB, because I find that's a good range. You get something that you've got good upside potential and not as much downside potential, because I mean they're less likely to rug, I find, in that sort of space. And then it'll be a matter of looking at the charts, seeing ones that are approaching the all-time highs. I really like, to me, the best buy signal is a token that's past the all-time high after a few days of launch, right? It shows that it's still activity. Yeah.
So I see. So your tool is also analyzing trading conditions as well on the open market, right? Okay.
Yeah. So we're aggregating trading volume, trading number, liquidity of the token, and we let you filter by all these. So you can say, I mean, if you wanted to get really specific, you could say, show me your tokens with liquidity between 100 and 300, but say 100 to 500 trades in the last 24 hours. You can even do trade volume. So it's done over, so let's say $1 million or 1 million BNB in trade volume. And that was created in June, for example. So you can get really specific in terms of what you're looking for.
Okay. Do you guys have a functioning system at the moment, or is it still in testing phases right now?
No, it's functioning. Yeah, we've got users. So if you get an app, I'll drop it in again. So app.agentini.com. And if you see the video, you'll see it in operation as well. It's a really good intro to what the app does.
Yeah, I mean, even if you want to live stream in just a demo of it, I think the audience would appreciate that as well. If you
absolutely,
yeah.
You'll do that now.
Yeah.
So how do I?
You just click
on
the voice chat. Yeah. Yep. You can stream your screen.
Cool. Give me one moment.
Because I myself, I'm a visual person. Yeah, I like to see how things, work. And I think if we have a visual presentation, that would really pique people's interest, so to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm just on a Mac at the moment, so it's a bit annoying. It might take me I might have to restart to share my screen, but maybe Imi can also. Yeah, I'll quit and reopen, but yeah, Imi can take over while I'm doing that.
While Abby's getting that set up, I just wanted to share that we're taking a different approach with this project. We're not your typical pump and dump, hire 100 different marketers and try to get this as high as quick as possible and just sell it as quick as possible. We've tried to take a bit more of an organic approach, hold AMAs, share consistent updates with the app. So within a couple of days, Abe has just released a pretty cool feature with the product. And I don't think anyone else in the space has actually achieved it yet. It's a one-of-a-kind honeypot detector. So it currently automatically checks, because you have tokens that turn honey midway. So before you ape in, it's like, oh, it's safe. The honeypot, it's no honey. Then halfway through, it turns honey. Whereas our app updates itself every 5 minutes. So if you have bought in already, I guess there's nothing much you can do. But if you're about to ape in on somebody else's suggestion, and our app updates itself, hey, this thing's turned honey. There you go. You saved yourself another scam.
That is
so no one else really does that.
Yeah, because there are many times where we do a scan, it's safe. Okay, people buy in, and then, like you said, 5 minutes later, the dev changes the code and activates it, and before it's too late. Okay.
Exactly.
That is very interesting. Oh, okay.
On that feature as well. That's cool. There you go, Abe.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm back. Thanks to me. Yeah, so essentially this is our product as of today. And this is what you get when you sign in. So you get a list of tokens. So right now it's sorted by, what is it sorted by? So it's sorted by created at. So these looking at sort of new tokens. You can see tokens that were recently created. So this is our contract analysis. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of the new ones aren't verified yet, so we'll have them as not verified.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
The cool thing we do is we actually look at the contract creator address, and so we'll notice that this particular creator has created 3 tokens previously, and they were only active for 14 hours. So that's a good sign that he's planning on a rug. And you can already see that this one's rugged anyway. So what's got 2.02 BNB liquidity, so that's one that you'd want to avoid. Yeah, and so that's and this other guy's created 27 tokens previously, so I wouldn't touch that, even though it's done 31, even though it's got 31 liquidity. You know, that's a clear sign to me that you wouldn't touch a token that's done. You know, a guy that's creating, just spamming out tokens, getting a few trades in, rugging them. And as you can see, our Honeypot Detector's actually said that you can buy, okay, but you can't sell. So this is our result that failed, and you'll see that across any sort of red honeypot tells you can't sell, and then these green ones tell you can. We'll also show you these buy and sell tax inline in the app. So these ones all have 0, but this one's got a 1% buy tax, but you can't sell, and your gas fee is going to be 150,000. So you can so these just looking at new tokens. You can see here we've got the activity. So you can also filter and say, look, don't show me tokens with only 1 trade. If I'm aping to a new token, I might want to just limit it to at least 50 trades. You can do that, so you can now start to see a different variety of tokens. And I hope you guys see how responsive the application is. So if we wanted to sort by a different column, within less than a second, sorted by that value, you can sort back by created. And again, we've also got yellow honeypots, which tell you the buy and sell tax are really high. So here's a 29% buy tax, 33% sell tax. I mean, it's essentially a rug, given that you're paying 62%, for example, just to buy and sell. So yeah, we think that's really cool. You can see activity. There's a whole bunch more things that we're planning on adding. Like other tools, we show you ownership renounce events. We show you liquidity added and the liquidity provider. In this case, it was Dblock, DX here. You've got a chart to show you the price action. And again, you can sort by any of these columns.
Oh wow, that's impressive, Abe. So your created date, you're going by the detection of the liquidity pool being added, or is it the contract creation of the actual contract that gets? So
at the moment it's actually, look, that creator date isn't super accurate. It needs to be refined, but at the moment it's when we start tracking that token, and we start tracking the token either when the liquidity pool is created, so we're listening to events on the Pancake Factory, or when an ownership renounce event. So, and it's also or when ownership is renounced, or when liquidity lock happens. So you'll notice that we're not tracking every token yet, because some of those tokens haven't actually given us an event. But that's a refinement we'll make in future to try and go back historically and fill in all that data and make sure that we are tracking 100% of tokens on PancakeSwap at the moment, and we'll be extending out to other swaps on the BSC. I mean, there's not really any other ones that are super relevant at the moment. I guess PancakeSwap's dominating, but also other chains as well. So Ethereum, Phantom, AVAX, we're planning to extend to all those.
All right. Okay. So, will I be able to track a particular contract, or say a particular token, or is it just how would I do that on this?
So we're going to make that easier, but okay. Yeah, I mean, you can always search for a token. So if you wanted to search for, I don't know, we'll go for I mean, baby, whatever, you can type in whatever and it will update to. So it's really powerful in that way.
So I already see a strong use case for this, right? So we all know that whenever Elon makes a tweet about a term or a couple or words, right? People immediately go and try to create a token, right? With that name that he tweets out.
Yeah.
So now I can go in here and search for, let's say he tweets out, double bubble. I can immediately go in here and do a search for anything that has the token name double bubble, and I can list all those, newly created contracts out, and then see which one is the safest to ape into to ride that pump.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And another thing you can do
Mhm.
as well, which I found really cool. So remember the Shiba craze that happened probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, where people went crazy. So what was happening, and Doge as well, I guess. So what was happening? Any old tokens with Shiba in the name, or Doge in the name,
Right.
flying. So what I will do is I'd say, look, I'm not super interested in new ones because it's still a pretty low chance. But I just filter back to any token created before, let's say September, and I'd find ones. I just do a search on Shiba, like older Shiba tokens, and find ones that hadn't peaked yet, and they were going off one by one. So every day you'd get a different Shiba token going up, and I'd look at, okay, or maybe I want to invest in Goma Shiba, for example, or whatever the case might be. I found, and Kaken Shiba was actually one of my old investments too that I think I made some money on. But anyway, so that's a really good strategy that I find, looking at tokens created before a certain date or between a date range, and saying, okay, well, knowing that this is a meme of the moment, are there any old tokens related to that meme that might pick up in future?
Oh wow. Yeah. So you basically took the ape section of PooCoin and just put it on super steroids and gave it a bunch of other features, right? Because the ape feature on PooCoin gives us newly created tokens as well, right? With a long list, but not as much information provided that you guys have here. And the trend line, I really like the trend line too that you guys are showing to see, whether it's at a good buying point or not. But
so essentially I built this tool for myself. So that's that's kind of how we got here today. It was like, okay, well, I can see new tokens, but that's not enough information for me, and I'm a lazy guy. I don't want to click around into 10 different tools. So how do I centralize all the information to one place? And that's how the tool grew. So like I had a prototype from way back that just looked like rubbish, but it was giving me the information I needed. And as we went along, progressively added more features, refined it a bit. And just so I'll touch on a couple of things that people do miss. So there is a tour here. So if you are new to it, and you'll see it when you join. So we do have a tool that sort of takes you through the different functionality of the program. So people miss the filtering I'm finding, and they also miss the links on the right hand side. So there are links to PooCoin and BC Scan. So it's worth picking out. And people miss this reload button here. So if you do want to refresh your results, you can just hit that button and it'll auto update.
And we are adding a media icon too, so you can instantly find the Telegram group if it's listed within the contract. Is that right, Abe?
So that's it's been there for ages. I just haven't had a chance to add it to the link section, and I'll be doing that at some stage in the next in the days to come.
Yeah, I can definitely see this as a great tool for degen aping, right? Looking into trying to catch that quick, the safest play, right? Like all of them has a risk involved, but you're minimizing the risk and giving like the knowledge and information for the investor to make a wise decision on going in on these newly created tokens.
And that's where we are today. Yeah, sorry.
So Abe, are you the only one coding this, or do you have someone else? You said there was another dev with you, right? But he's not able to make it. He's also working on this with you side by side, or?
Yeah. So the way we split up the work, I spent the vast majority of my time on the back end, so getting the data in, analyzing the data, and doing all that sort of stuff. And the other dev's actually done about 90% of what you see here. So he's built the website, whereas I've been focusing on the data side, understanding the tokens, creating the Honeypot Detector, things of that nature. So it's been a pretty even split in that regard. And there's also a third dev who's helping out a bit, and he actually helped me 2 days ago. After launch, I decided this is the Honeypot Detector. It'll be really cool. I've been working on it for about 12 hours straight, and we had a third dev jump on. It was about probably 2 a.m. local time in Melbourne when he jumped on. And we just spent an hour smashing it out and getting that feature out there. So we're pretty I think we're a pretty talented team, quite a dedicated team, and we work fast and we churn out functionality. Okay.
So in order for us to use this tool, I assume we have to hold tokens of Agent of I.N.U tokens, yeah, to be able to use this platform. Okay.
Yeah. So the token is Agent Shiba Inu is the token within the Agents of I.N.U, sort of Agents of I.N.U, and it's a play on Agents of Shield. If you guys haven't picked up on that, but yeah, so that will come. So right now it's in free beta. So my focus now is to get people across the tool, get people using the tool. Eventually, we will lock down functionality to token holders. Yeah, but as of today, it's just get in, use it, see the value, and then on the back of that, hopefully invest in the token.
And you're doing a tiered system, right? Like, hold a certain number of tokens, you get the minimum features, hold maybe double or triple that, the features get extended, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there might be hold some LP tokens if we decide to go down that path, but we're keeping our options open at this stage and just sort of assessing, what's going to be best for, or what's the best way, I guess, to tokenize this.
Okay. Well, I guess my other question is this: would you be able to make this real time? Down the road, where it'll just refresh the information automatically, or do I have to? Do you think it's something that I'll have to manually keep refreshing the data to come to be presented to me?
So the initial reason why we made it, well, there's two reasons why it's manual refresh right now. One was performance. We've actually gotten performance to a point where that's no longer a big concern. I think this can scale out to quite a large number of simultaneous users. The other was we know some users get frustrated by auto refresh because they're looking at a token, they come back 5 minutes later, and now the views completely change, especially when you're sorting by things like 5 minutes or 1 hour. But we think we'll probably make it optional, and you can probably, depending on your tier, it might be a 20-second refresh automatic, or maybe 1 or 2 minute refresh if you're if you're not a premium tier user. But yeah, that's definitely something we'd be looking at adding.
Well, I'll tell you guys what. If you somehow implement, a swapping right underneath here, I think you guys have a home run, right?
We
Now I can
received that feedback.
Yeah. Right.
I think it's something we
Can I give a quick overview about where we see this, like just what our roadmap looks like in terms of functionality?
Yeah,
so right now you've got a list of tokens. So we'll be, and again, I'm just trying to decide what the best sort of features coming out is, and we'll be guided by what our users are using. But the idea would be able to click into a token, you'd go to a dedicated page for that token, potentially see a charted token, ability to buy and sell there. We do a lot more advanced analysis. So we'll instead of just showing a honeypot icon, you'll see it on the screen. You'll see the buy and sell taxes displayed prominently. You'll see more elaboration on our contract analysis. We'll be doing a bit more, and I've got a lot of ideas that I just haven't had a chance to implement. But we'll be looking for wash trading, which is when the token owner is just buying his own token. So you might see a lot of activity, but it's all the one contract address or a few contract addresses buying and selling. Just to, I'm sure you guys have seen this, just to artificially inflate the volume of the project. So we'll be looking for things like that and displaying that prominently and saying, hey, this looks like an organically traded token, or this looks botted, for want of a better word, or artificial. So right now it's a good starting point. It's a really good starting point, but we do want it to be an end-to-end. So from a list of tokens, decide a token, get more detail about that token, and then decide, do I want to buy or sell? So that's on the token flow itself. So if you look up here, we've also got dashboards. We've got events, which is similar to like Moonarch and any other new event system that just shows you liquidity was added for this token, ownership renounced or whatever else. We've actually had that working in a previous version of the website. We've disabled it for now just because we wanted to clean that up, make it work a bit better. They'll be coming soon. And also portfolios and watch lists are on the roadmap as well.
Okay. So at the moment, how have you guys marketed this then? I mean, it seems like a great tool. I think it seems like something that can pique a lot of people's interest. How have you been getting the word around about you guys? I mean, besides doing AMAs and stuff, like, basically to get people to get excited into, holding the token to be able to access the platform.
Well, we're trying to approach a more relevant group of promoters, and I guess we're relatively new to the space as well, so we're trying to differentiate between the pump and dumpers without mentioning any names. And there's legitimate influencers who actually talk about utility, real projects out there. So that's the kind of road we're taking to approach people who promote real projects, and because I think that's the vision we had. We didn't want to be just your typical token on BSC. We wanted to be something that has real purpose, has real people, real project, real utility behind it. So we're still planning the marketing, but we've approached a lot of people and slowly getting the word out there as we go.
And if I can elaborate on that, so look, I come from a very different world to PureCoins, right? My main job is working in product. I've worked in a few startups, and there's a different approach that you take in the startup world as opposed to the PureCoin world, right? Or I guess for want of a better term, the shitcoin world. So here it's all about hype and generating initial hype in your project, and then hoping utility will come later. And that's the case in the majority of these launches, right? We've taken a different approach where we're starting with that utility and trying to get people to understand. And look, our name is Agents of I.N.U. I feel like a lot of people see that name and think, oh, it's just another meme token or hype token. They don't actually grasp that there is utility here.
Right. Well, that was my next question. Why did you guys go with the I.N.U theme? Is it just because of the current hype right now, or just what's trending?
So initially we were actually called Trendify, so like trend and DeFi, and that was our initial name. As we got the word out there, we started getting, I guess, spreading the word to people that were big in this space. The feedback we were getting was no one's interested in utility tokens. Hype is the way to go. So we thought about a novel approach. Can we sort of marry up hype and utility and create a brand that way? And it's a brand. The reason why I like Agents of I.N.U was that I feel it's quite a flexible brand, in the sense that we're starting off with Agent Shiba as our initial token, but we've also got the ability to create an ecosystem of tokens that all fall under the Agents of I.N.U banner in one aspect. So the other one there, like NFTs, become a possibility down the road, and all these things. So in terms of that sort of broader vision of broader roadmap for the product, I guess will be dictated by our users, right? If our users are interested in the theme, are interested in the brand, we'll be doing a bit of work on that and trying to promote it. If they just say to us, hey, we don't care about Agents of I.N.U, we just want the tool, that'll also, I guess, sort of drive the direction we take this tool. But just to elaborate in terms of other marketing channels, so look, we've got a Medium blog going, where we're adding some content there, trying to get the word out that way. It's a bit different to hype tokens again in the way we get the word out. So what we actually want people that use the tool, finding the tool. We're not necessarily for people that are just after a quick pump and dump, because it's not what we're about. Obviously we want the chart to grow, but to me the best way of growing the chart is getting users who are engaged, love the tool, want to stick around and sort of use it day to day, right? And that to me is what we're trying to achieve. It's a different approach, I think, to a lot of other tokens in this space, where it literally is, let's get meme contests out there, let's just spam the chat, let's go and shill to 1,000 different groups. It's a bit more organic in that sense, but I think that's probably going to lead to a lasting, a good price stability and lasting price growth, rather than a 1 or 2 week pump and dump.
We have also, in terms of marketing, we've also decided we're trying to approach the Chinese market. Our dev over here, he's trying to create a Chinese version of the app to enable that community to come use our app as well, which is a pretty big community, I feel. And if we can engage that community with our app, I think it could be pretty big for the project.
Of course, yeah. Those get the from the other regions to engage and use the app. It's definitely a plus for you guys. I do want to. So as a person who's done degen plays before, who's been in the space for a little bit, obviously this makes sense to me. But as a new person going in, I think I kind of feel like this may be a little bit too overwhelming. Are you guys going into how are you guys going the route of educating new users on how to use this and how to interpret, this utility, the information that's provided to them?
Yes, I'm actually really passionate about. Maybe I can jump to a Medium blog. Let's see that. Okay, cool. One thing I'm really passionate about is transparency too. So if you guys want to understand our tokenomics, we've got to really elaborate. We're going to go into detail about every aspect of our tokenomics. We've got this article here, which is why all gems are a safer bet, which is sort of my preferred approach. And yeah, I mean, read it. I think it's a pretty good. I enjoyed the article. I enjoyed writing it, and hopefully you guys will enjoy reading it. But essentially, sort of about telling people, look for all the tokens, look for tokens that meet this profile, because there's a good chance that they might do well.
Okay.
And that's one aspect. And look, from an education point of view, I feel like, and I don't know if it fits in with the brand or not, but I feel like it's really hard to find information on. So part of my goal, my vision is to go into detail about every aspect of DeFi. And I do mean every aspect, because I do get quite annoyed about certain practices that I've run into. But things like how contracts work, what to look for in smart contract code if you're interested in doing that, different types of scans and how to pick up on them, and then tying all that back into how the app helps you do that. So I would say, like I said, if it's wash trading where the owner's buying and selling, well, here's what that issue is, and here's how we help you sort of identify and address that issue.
Okay. No, this is what I wanted to see. Something of a medium going, just displaying initial information on how to go about, the project and the token itself and the utility.
Yeah, and
while you're
obviously
here,
YouTube videos as well. Sorry. So YouTube videos on how to use the product as well will be coming soon.
All right. Yeah. While you guys are here, can you just explain the tokenomics?
Before you do that, Conway, let me ask something. So, Abe, hi, Crypto Darkness here. So you just mentioned that you guys did some sort of small, research in order for you to decide what was going to be the name of the brand and how you were going to market that. Can you give me a little bit of detail of what kind of research that you conducted for that?
Yeah, so essentially it was, look, we're in a few different groups, and we're in some, there are some pretty sophisticated, I guess sort of degen traders that we've been speaking to, and Imi's probably better placed here because he's, in terms of networking and he's our guy. But essentially was speaking to different people in the community. And look, I don't know if we steered more towards the sort of hype degen side, and that was just the people that we had access to, and they sort of guided us down a certain track, or if that's sort of indicative of the broader community, it's hard to say. But their advice, and it was across the board, was we think that a hype brand is going to be more attractive to investors in this space than something like Trendify, which it's a very different brand, right? It's a more traditional brand, and that was the advice we got. And look, initially I was probably hesitant about that approach, but I mean, if everybody's telling you hype, well, it's hard to sort of stay on that track and sort of ignore all that feedback. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it does. It's just that for me that I'm. Let me ask you before I answer that. Let me ask you this: what's your demographic target for your token?
Yeah. Okay. It's a good question. It's one that I probably can't answer. It's about. It's. I think. Look, from the word I come, it really is explorative. It's finding who are the people that are engaging in this product. And look, in one sense, there is that broader appeal. And as Conway mentioned earlier, this might be a bit too complex for your average sort of newcomer to the space. Whereas for people that have been trading for a while that are more sophisticated, I think the functionality of the tool today probably meets those people's needs. Now, I think the question you're asking is are the more sophisticated people going to be more drawn towards a serious brand as opposed to a meme brand? And look, my challenge is how do I get the broadest number of people actually engaging with the product and using it? So look, in terms of the demographic, my hope is that everybody who's interested in degen or interested in DeFi, whether they are going for more legitimate projects or whether they're going for and because one aspect is this will help you find legitimate projects that are having a huge amount of trading volume, right? And I've bought into projects just on the back of seeing a massive amount of volume at launch, and then doing my research later and saying, this is actually a legitimate project. That's that explains why I had 2,000 trades within the first minute or 2 minutes or whatever. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, it's about targeting as broad a section as possible, understanding who's interested in using this product, and then tailoring the app to actually support the needs of everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's great, right? That you guys have that cleared up, because the reason that I asked the question is because I want to know if you know where you're standing, right? If you know why you make this product and to who you make this product for, right? Who you make this product for. I think if you have that nailed, right, it's the most important thing, because not everybody's going to use your product, right? There's going to be newbies here that don't have a clue of what the blockchain is, right? Your product is not intended for those people, right? So they're going to get there, right? It's going to take them time, but you have to. What you need to know is who is your target market right now, and that you're delivering that product for them, right? And then you somehow people will start growing and learning more about the blockchain and learning more about tokens, and then they'll get there, right? They're going to get there. So that's the reason why I asked that question.
No, and yeah, and just so I can elaborate. So one thing that I struggled with early on was you come into this new space and it's like, okay, well, where do I find tokens? There's no coin market cap for new players, right? And especially not when I started back in sort of May. And I feel like having somewhere where you can see new tokens, see tokens that are trending, could actually help those users. But yeah, definitely agree that they're gonna, like when they see honeypot icons, when they see contract analysis, their eyes are gonna glaze over and say, I have no idea what any of this means. Just tell me what to buy. And that's the feedback we're getting, I guess, is if you want to use play, you just want to know what should I buy and what should I avoid. And it's a challenge from us from a UX point of view. It's how do you how do you actually engage those people? And that's that's where I'll look. Right now, my aim is like increasing volume, but once we get volume to a certain point, I've got a really good UX person lined up that I've spoken with, and he's happy to help. But I do need the funds to sort of afford him, and he's done work for large brands, and we'll be working together hopefully to do that, to work on exactly, like, I mean, that's his bread and butter, is how do we tailor this product to different market segments and get those new people comfortable using a subset of the features while still allowing your more sort of power users, I guess, to do what they need to do.
And it's also not the end all be all, right? If you need to rebrand later down the road, then you can, right? So say if you want to go back to Trendify or something like that, it's, you can relaunch, rebrand, do what you need to do, because we've seen a lot of projects do that when they get big and take off. So
I guess our challenge is just building trust in our brand and getting people to realize, hey, we are legitimate, even though it is a sort of mean branding. We are a serious, a company, for want of a better word, or a serious team. Trust us, and we'll help you.
Okay, thanks. Darkness, do you have any other follow-up questions?
Oh no, thanks, bro.
Okay. All right.
I got my.
All right. So Abe, Imi, I just want to go over the metrics of the token, the pre-sale, if you have one, your launch date, the details, and then we'll open the questions to the audience. Okay.
Cool. So I guess I'll walk through here. So we had a pre-sale of 18.5%. 25% of raised capital went to the liquidity. The team's allocation is 5%, so that's spread between. I've got a 2% wallet. Our other dev has a 2% wallet, and Imi has a 2% wallet, but half was part of his pre-sale and half was part of his involvement in the team. We've got a 2% marketing wallet as well. The reason why we burned 49%, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't understand, is look, it's probably my mistake as well initially. It's probably higher than I wanted to, but it's the rate we offered to pre-sale. So we offered pre-salers, and for full transparency, the rate was 1 BNB for 0.5% equity in the token, and that was the pre-sale offer that we went with. When I tried to, the aim of the token was to launch with the same price as the pre-sale price. So the price we're offering to our pre-sale, we'd launch at that same price. The only way I could achieve that without going back and offering a larger percentage to our pre-sale investors was based on the amount of liquidity that we raised, was to actually do a 49% burn. And if people aren't, I might write a blog post on why we did that and why it came out to that number. But essentially, essentially your price is dictated by the ratio of being liquidity and tokens that you've allocated to liquidity. But that's where we ended up, and that was part of that was just due to the commitment we made to our pre-sale investors before we really understood, or before I had time to really get deep into how how the initial price would be set. So expanding on that, so I've sort of said so team 5%, marketing 2%. Not sure if we need that, but we do have taxes, so I'm hoping that our tax fees will cover what we need, but that's there just in case we do run into a bit of stagnation on the volume side. Liquidity 25%. So we started off with, I think it ended up being 50 BNB in liquidity, our initial liquidity, which we raised from the pre-sale. So burn ICT was 51, but it ended up being 49.5. In terms of tokenomics, so we've got 1% reward, reflections, 2% to the liquidity pool, 4% to development, being a dev-heavy project, we are spending a huge amount of hours working on this, as well as hosting costs for our platform. Got a 4% marketing. There's a 2% max wallet and a 0.3% max transaction at the moment. So it is a reflections token with tax fees. In terms of, look, one thing I'm really big on, and there's so many tokens that just come out and they let you set 100% tax, and I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. And as a community, we shouldn't accept that we shouldn't give out that power to anyone really. Like, there's no reason why you'd ever want to set tax to 100%. So we have sort of added restrictions everywhere in everything we do, just to give the community confidence. So we've got a 6-month liquidity lock. We won't be renouncing the ownership, but we have put in, sale and buy taxes can't exceed 20%. And look, I don't think they'll ever exceed 10%, to be honest. Oh, sorry, 11% is what they're at, but I can't see us going higher. But if anything, once volume picks up, we'll be reducing that. Max wallet can't be set to less than 0.2%, and max transaction can't be set to less than 0.1% of supply.
Okay, so that's kind of your anti-dump feature almost then, yeah. With the in and out of for like 11%,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Restrictions, contract. Okay, and so you said that that you're are these locked set in stone right now? These percentages, or are they adjustable?
No, everyone's adjustable. Yeah, it's all adjustable. Okay. So look, I'm hoping right now the volume's pretty low, so we do need to raise funds for marketing and dev. But as volume increases, we've got that flexibility to reduce those a bit more.
So where are you guys at right now, as far as volume and market cap and things like that? Like
so we did 500. We've done about 500K volume, but most of that was day one. So we actually had a really good launch where we did 20x. The chart sort of settled out 5x, and our challenge has been getting the word out there. Our volume's quite low at the moment. So it's still very early days. It's I think 3 or 4 days old now. But our challenge right now is to attract that volume, get people buying in.
Right. And are your holders holding right now, or do you see holders leaving every day? Your holders are dwindling.
No, it's actually been. It's been pretty quiet. And look, we had a few people leave yesterday, but I'm not sure if that was obviously the market conditions were terrible. So I'm not sure if people just decided to sell the back. But we've been about that 480, hovering between 470, I think, and 480 holders for the last 2 days. There was some weird trading activity too. Like someone just I don't know if they're buying or selling like 100 transactions at like a cent each. So I'm not sure what that was about. But if anyone knows why, I'd be interested, because I couldn't work out why anyone would do that. But anyway, so we're about that 480 holder mark. 300K, or I think probably now a bit less. So between 200 to 300K market cap, 500K in traded volume.
Okay. And your top holder, and he has a 2% max wallet. Is that what it shows on BSC scan, or does it show something else? Does it show 1%?
It'll show 2% on BSC scan.
Because remember, you burned 49%, right? So the percentage is actually going to be double on BSC. What it says, right? Theoretically, right?
It says, that's a commonly held opinion. I don't actually believe that's the case. So I might write an article on why I disagree with that sort of logic. But anyway, look, to me, it's about the ratio of liquidity to your wallet. That's like the burn is almost irrelevant in that sense, because it's how much can you draw down on the liquidity of the token, and that's going to affect. But anyway, look, on BSC scanning, does show 2%. I can probably, that's definitely what it's showing.
Okay. So it shows 2%, but it's kind of like 4%, right? That they're holding of the current circulating supply at the moment. Yeah.
They're holding 4% of the circulating supply. Yeah. But again, to me, the metric is liquid. Like how much can you draw down in the liquidity? But anyway, that's I don't want to dive. But that is right.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Does anyone have questions for the team? Let me see if there's any hands raised. AC Shemp, you are allowed to speak. Go ahead, brother. AC Shemp?
I just want to ask a single question. I'm already a holder on this coin. And I want to find out if they manage to find at least the first tier. I mean, the minimum requirement so you can use this tool. I already use this tool. It's amazing, and I'm already a holder. So that's my only question. If they thought about the first tier or something regarding the tiers.
Look, to be honest, I've been putting a huge amount of thought. Just my focus has literally been on how do we get more, how do we get the chart moving, get more people using the tool. My thinking's probably going to be an entry tier might be, and look, it's going to depend where the price sort of stabilizes at, but somewhere about $100 potentially might be an entry point. So holding at least that much. But like, again, I'm not like I just need to sit down and really think about that with the team and see. Yeah, and see where we land. It's just it's not something I've been. Well, I mean, in the absence of liquidity and sort of volume, I think it's a bit premature. But once it is something I'll be getting to probably within the next week or two. I'll be really sitting down and thinking about how do we lock down features and what are we actually asking our users to hold. And we've got a lot of cool ideas, I think, in terms of not so much the next 1 or 2 month roadmap, but the next 3 to 6 months. We've got some really cool ideas in terms of sort of tokenomics and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but it is a question that I have been deferring intentionally until I get the time to really think about that. I would say it'd probably be in line with other tools in the space. So if you are familiar with other tools, it'd probably be somewhere similar to how they operate.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
That's no problem.
Okay, thank you, AC Champ, for that question. I'm just going down the list to see if I have any more hands raised. Unless I asked all the questions that they wanted to know. Okay. Nope, I think we're good for now. But hey, listen, I'm already getting DMs from some members saying that they're looking forward to using your tool, right? I think you guys have something interesting going here. I'm definitely going to look into it more. Like I said, right? I already have a use case for me right now with if I get an Elon notification tweet, right? I'm gonna automatically go into your tool and look for any coins that might have just launched within that, right away, right? Just to see, what coins are out and check out, which coins are the safest to take a gamble on, right? That's me personally, right? That's one use case I see for your app, right? That can help me, right? And obviously there's other cases for it, right? Especially for new investors who don't want to ape into huge or big projects. They'll ape in something small, maybe $5-10 and into smaller low cap projects and see which one's the safest, and they can go from there and make a sound decision, right?
No, exactly, and that's I mean, I guess to elaborate that last approach, it is a really cool one where. Look, if you're starting off with small capital, it does make sense to go into the new projects that have huge growth potential.
Yeah.
And it's really about increasing your odds of success or odds of not being scammed, for want of a better word, from say 1 in 50, which is probably, I'm just sort of spitballing numbers, but hopefully going from 1 in 50 to 1 in 10 or 1 in 5. So you've got a much better strike rate in terms of the project you're investing in, and that's what we're really trying to do here in that sort of new space. It's just about increasing your percentage likelihood of success, I guess.
Yeah. Just a quick question. When did you guys launch? How long ago did you guys launch? I forgot. I might not have asked that.
I believe it was. It's hard at the time zones, but it was the 1st or 2nd of December. So depending on where you live in the world.
Okay, so you're fairly new. Okay, so you guys still have Okay.
Yeah, it's still well, I mean, chart's still very early. There's still, I believe there's huge growth potential here, but it is about getting users to the platform. And I'm really, really excited that you're saying that there are people DMing you and saying they see the value in the tool, and that's really what I'm trying to get out. It's not so much about spruiking, unrealistic promises and saying, hey, we're gonna, I don't know, I don't want to give any other credit, but it's not about promising the world, and it's about under promising, over delivering, and that's really that's my sort of view on the world. It's start small, but give people value, and then hopefully surprise them from there and say, hey, we're much more than what you see today, and we'll be going, we'll be doing a whole host of things in this space.
I mean, I'm looking at your guys' chart now. You guys seem to be holding up okay, right? At around 250K market cap. Let's see if you can make a one leg up, a couple of legs up, and see if you guys hold there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to get more users, aware of your tool. And yeah, no, I think you guys have a great start. It's a good start, right? You're past the point where other coins failed already, would have failed. Yeah. You got a good healthy amount of holders, and you're only 2 days old. Come on, that's literally nothing, right? 48 hours.
Yeah,
So no,
exactly.
and I see some green candles happening right now. Unless the chart that I'm looking at, KuCoin has been a little bit messed up today. Yeah.
It's
So
been affecting everyone now.
yeah,
We've
it's
been having a few
faster.
issues with apps. I've
Yeah.
had to change providers from sort of the default ones just to get it work. Yeah, you're right. It has been a bit slow, but
Yeah.
yeah, we've had people
But,
saying that they've been trying to buy and you can't. It's
mm.
very laggy, but yeah.
Okay. Look, I have a question from Mr. Blockchain Shecky. Let's see. I'm going to allow you to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi. I'm just checking on the contract. I'm trying to import your contract onto MetaMask, and it's not working.
So you'll just, I think you'll just have to reduce. You know how it's got the symbol. Just remove it. Like just change it to Agent I.N.U because I think it's too long for MetaMask. It doesn't let you have in mind. It
Yeah. So
doesn't really have.
the contract ends in 33E blockchain. You have that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah,
go to, so what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Like, is it saying that the symbol, like, is there a red box around the symbol?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just remove a few characters, get it down to 9 characters or less, and you'll be able to save it.
Sorry. So I was thinking it was the contract. It's the. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
And
Okay.
then you guys have a lot of catalysts, right, to help you guys make that next move up, right? You can announce new features, get more promotions going. Shoot, you guys can even decide to dox yourself at a milestone, and that would probably
No,
gain some.
we already have docs ourselves, by the way. So yeah, we are
Okay.
docs. So we have
Okay.
docs ourselves. Interestingly, with a a movie director actually approached us from Melbourne. So we're based in Melbourne, Australia. And there's a guy who's directing a movie with Zac Efron, and he's actually co-starring in a movie with Zac Efron. And we've got a post on Twitter about that. It's in our promo video as well. You'll see that the team's standing there with Anthony Hayes, his name is, and so we are a docs team.
Okay, great. Well, I don't see any more questions. And we are running close to the hour. If you have any closing statements you want to let the community know, please go ahead and do so, and we can wrap this up.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, to me, it's just definitely go in, have a play around with our tool, check out what we can do. We think that it is a tool that will hopefully appeal to especially the type of people in this community today. It gives you that power to really, I guess, sort of take the next level up in your sort of trading experience. Suss us out, join us on Telegram, engage with the community, let us know what you like and don't like, and I mean, hopefully we can all go on a journey together and really build a really cool product and really cool experience in this space.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to ask. So the M cap is about 244,000.
Yeah, like
I see 250. I'm showing 250K. Yeah.
Is that the correct M cap? Because normally on PoolCoin, they always add burns and everything.
So that would be the market cap after the burn. Yeah. So it's
after the burn. Or before the burn?
So PoolCoin will be factoring the burn into, they factor the burn in price into the market cap. So that'll be the market cap based on circulating supply.
So how much would that be?
250. Yes, that's right. So if you want to, so the actual market cap, if you include the burn, will be 500K. After the burn, it's 250.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say for me, if once you start developing the platform more, if I get, I don't know, buy like, 0.5 or maybe 1 BNB, I should be able to use the full features, or do you think that's going to cost me a little more at the moment? Just to secure my spot while we're at a good buying point.
I think definitely. Well, it comes down, if the price crashes, maybe not. If the price does 2 or 3x from here, I think it'd be pretty safe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Abe, Imi, thank you so much for coming into the Future Lounge. Everybody, this is Agents of I.N.U, and thank you for coming. And their token is Agent Shiba at the moment, and you can guys go check them out. I think it's a good buying point right now, and definitely look at their app. I'm personally going to familiarize myself with your app a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can use that to my advantage. And I want to thank you guys for coming in again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. And look, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. We're a pretty friendly bunch over at in our Telegram group. So yeah, I mean, we'd love to get to know you guys better and see what you think. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.